Hello, it's me, Martinez-Bateman, CEO of New Coyote Consulting. We are an equity and communications consulting firm here in the Pacific Northwest. If you hear some chomping, that is Socrates. He's a little hard to see back there with the lights the way they are. I turn the lights off because it's going to be hot in here. And I kept all the fans on, so you probably hear them too. But this is the Monday update. It's on a Tuesday. I recorded a Monday update yesterday, but to be honest, I don't want to publish it. I'm looking real rough in it. I hadn't showered. I hadn't eaten. It was fucking 7 p.m. It was not 7 p.m. It was 8 p.m. Fuck. It wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look. And as much as I will fucking admit that that's what I did, I don't think y'all need to see that. So let's talk about it. I have been on the work diet. I've been sticking to the work diet. I only worked 15 minutes over my 4-hour limit, I think 2 weeks ago. So that has been amazing. I think I already talked about how only working 4 hours a day has really illustrated to me how sleep deprived I am. Figuring out how to get more sleep has been and continues to be really difficult. While I am working no more than 4 hours a day, those 4 hours are happening at the most random fucking times of day. I will have a work hour at 11, and then I will have a work hour at 2, and then I will have a work hour at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's that part is not working that well. And I think it's because last week and the week before, I had a ton of really important stuff I needed to do during like daytime working hours. And because I wake up at 11 o'clock in the morning, a lot of like work hours are already gone by the time I'm awake. So I ended up pushing my actual job working hours later and later during those weeks, because there were just some things that were taking priority. And that's one of the reasons I built New Coyote. I say it over and over again. I built this company so that people could have a life and a livelihood at the same time and not have to choose between the two. That being said, I do have clients and I do have things to do and I do have priorities and tasks. And so I was getting them done, and I was getting them done in under 4 hours a day. And also because of that, I was, doing my job later and later at night in random snatches throughout the day between other meetings and obligations. So not ideal, and also not great for sleeping. This week and next week and, however long it takes, I've told y'all before, I was never a good sleeper. I've never been a good sleeper. I used to be a super sleeper. And now I'm realizing that while I sleep more than I did when I was younger, I went from like a 3 hours a night person to like a 5 hours a night person. Being a 5 hours a night person is not enough anymore. So I need to sleep more. I talked about it in my newsletter a little bit. Like, I am not as daunted by the loss of identity with sleeping more. Now it's actually really just logistics getting me to sleep more. It's just really difficult. I don't feel tired at night. I don't feel tired until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I cannot, at this point in my life, sleep any later than 11. Usually I cannot sleep any later than 10. So now I'm thinking like, okay, so do I like commit to a napping practice? That has worked in the past. When I had to be at jobs early in the morning. Do I don't know. What do I do to get the sleep I need and still be able to live my life in this structure that pretends that human beings are all these automatons that can wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to sleep at 9 o'clock at night? Like, what's my ability? What are my resources? What are my needs in that thing? I think that's going to be how I'm going to approach this, and I think that's going to work better than I've approached it in the past, because in the past, I was trying to fit myself into a system that was hell-bent on negating everything about me. Now I know that, and so I can try and build a structure within this system that still affirms me and still helps me be who I am and still takes care of my body the way it needs to be taken care of. I'm not saying I'm always going to be a person who stays up late at night, but I am saying that I've never not been that person. So I'm also, really interested in what my dreaming life will be like. I have really vivid dreams, and lately one of the impediments to sleeping more is that I've been having really stressful, vivid dreams. And I think a lot of that is me continuing to process moving from growing up in a place that was very high stress, very high violence, spending so many years working hard on living a life that's more gentle, living a life that's more natural, living a life that is, and by natural I mean natural to me specifically, that's more values-based, it's more authentic, and then getting it. That's, what's that old saying? The stressful thing isn't asking a girl to dance. It's when she says yes and now you have to dance with a girl. Like, that is what I'm doing. I've tracked this life that I'm living now. I've worked towards it for so long that it feels very overwhelming to be here. And it's a new thing to process. It's a new thing to get good at. It's a new thing to skill up on. And I do love doing those things. So, everybody, have a walk. Have lunch, have a weekend, don't work for free. I skipped a lot of meals yesterday, and I'm not entirely sure what that was except exhaustion. I'm pretty sure it was just exhaustion. So, that being said, I'm taking care of myself a lot better today. I did get with the program after I recorded that video, because I did have to tell I have to tell on myself to you, and then as soon as that happened, I realized, like, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't what I want to spend my time on. So I got myself together. I will see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.